Now, there are two types of angular momentum: when something orbits, as the planets have, or when something's spinning, much like a top. Now, electrons, when they're not orbiting an atom, will spin, so they have an intrinsic angular momentum. Now, a two-electron system can be formed any number of ways. Say two electrons from various different atoms become separated from their respective atoms. We're always drawing electrons here as arrows. So for whatever happens, these two electrons get separated and come together somewhere to form an entity that is greater than either one of them can achieve on their own. So these electrons, if they're complementary enough, form a system much like this. That is, one has a spin pointing upwards and one has a spin pointing downwards, or one has a positive angular momentum and one has a negative angular momentum. This is the most stable state these electrons can form if they're complementary and not too augmentary, if you understand. I'm sorry? Feel free to ask questions at the end. After the ceremony. These electrons form something that's greater than themselves, a two-electron system. This is one of the most stable systems that nature can produce, electrons being the fundamental building block of, well, most atoms, and chemistry, by that matter. So, let's say two observers, one in box A here, and one in box B here, observe our two-electron system and split them so that one electron comes to A and one goes to B. Now, A will measure one of the electron states, and then by that, B immediately knows what the other electron has, what state the other electron is. Excuse me. Now, this is weird stuff. Because this information doesn't travel, this information travels instantaneously, faster than the speed of light. Sorry, gotta get my notes organized. Now, we know through modern physics that information really only travels through the speed of light. The person to decide this was this man, Albert Einstein. And in fact, this effect is known as the Einstein-Podlowski-Rosen paradox. This made Einstein very uncomfortable because information is naturally traveling faster than the speed of light. So these two electrons are so complementary and become part of such an integral unit that they immediately know all about each other, even when they're separated. So, I'm sort of hoping that everybody can here get the analogy. Because that's something I really needed to work on. In any event, these two electrons become such a fundamental system to nature that only very strong forces can pull them apart. Probability alone will not likely do it. So, in conclusion, when these electrons are entangled in this manner, they're almost exactly like a married couple spending the rest of their lives together. Aww. Thank you.
You may not have wanted to, Joe, but you did upstage me. I humbly accept defeat.